Hello students, welcome back. Today we are going to discuss some more competitive bits from human reproduction in level 1. Question number 16. What is true of deuterostomes? Options: present of schizocele. 2. Non-formation of anus from blastophore. 3. Coelom lined by mesoderm on both sides. 4. Absence of false coelom. Now, first know about deuterostomes. So, the organisms based on the embryonic developments are categorized into two groups based on the embryonic development. They are protostomes and deuterostomes. So, let's see protostomes. Protostomes in Greek, it means first mouth. In this protostomes group of animals, the mouth develops first from the blastophore. So blastophore is the first opening of the gut in the gastrula. So here in this diagram we can see that this is a digestive tube or maybe gut. So the first opening of this gut is called as a blastophore. So in protostomes, this blastophore develops as a mouth. First mouth is forms and later anus is develops in the protostomes. Simply we can remember that in protostome group of animals, first mouth develops and later anus is forms. So that group of animals are Platyhelminthes, Annelidans, mollusca comes under this protostomes. And second group, it is deuterostomes. That is our question. Deuterostomes. It means second mouth. In Greek, it is a second mouth. So in this deuterostomes, anus develops first from the blastophore. So remember it, in protostomes, mouth develops from the blastophore. First mouth develops from the blastophore. Whereas in deuterostomes, first anus develops from the blastophore and second mouth develops in the deuterostomes. So these group of organisms are more complex than protostomes. The examples of these deuterostome animals are echinoderms and chordates. So in this diagram we can observe this. So the first, this is a protostome and the second diagram it is a deuterostome. So in deuterostome the blastophore develop as a anus, whereas in protostome blastophore develops as a mouth and it forms first, and in deuterostomes the mouth forms second. That's why second mouth deuterostomes and first mouth it is protostomes. And next come to the types of coelom. This concept you are studied in the first PUC, that is animal kingdom. So what is a coelom? The body cavity lying between digestive tract and musculature of the body wall. Simply we can say that the body cavity present between digestive tract and a body wall is called as coelom. There are three types of a coelom. They are acoelomate. Coelom is absent. So that coelom is absent in sea anemones, that is coelenterids and platyhelminthes. The coelom is absent. So generally the coelom we can observe in the organisms which are having organ level organization. Generally, we will study the organization levels in the animals. Cellular level, tissue level organization. Cellular level organization is sponges, and tissue level organization in the coelentrates and ctenophora. Organ level organization we observed in platyhelminthes or flatworms. So in those animals onwards we can see the coelom, body cavity. So in platyhelminthes the coelom is fall. That means the coelom is absent. A coelomates, nothing but absence of coelom. And the second one is pseudocoelomates, are also called false coelomates. So the example for these false coelomates are Nematohelminthes or Asclehelminthes roundworms. And from Annelidans onwards, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermids, and all chordates are the true coeloms. Coelom is present. True coelom is present from Annelidan onwards. And the next information regarding question, that is false coelom. It is present in Nematohelminthes or Asclehelminthes. The blastocyst, nothing but the cavity present in the blastocyst, that is embryo, is called blastocyst, is partly filled with mesoderm cells, that is called as pseudocoelom or false coelom. And formation of a coelom is of two types. In that first one is schizocele. So the group of animals comes under this Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca are the schizocele. In this schizocele or schizocoelomates, during development of coelom, a solid mass of endoderm splits apart and form the hollow opening of the coelom. So solid mass of mesoderm split to form the coelom in the schizocoelomates, that is Annelidans, Arthropoda and Mollusca. And the another type is enterocoelous or enterocoelomates. Example Echinodermata chordata. So this in this the mesoderm develops as a pouches that are pinched off, that means separated from the mesodermal endoderm tissue. So mesoderm develops as a pouches that are pinched from the endoderm tissue, and these pouches fuse to form the coelom. This type of development is called as enterocele, and schizocele, the solid mass of mesoderm splits and to form as a coelom. So based on the formation of coelom, the organisms are two categories: schizocoelomates and enterocoelomates. Schizocoelomates are Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, and in previous slide, protostomes or the annelidans, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Asclehelminthes, that means Nematohelminthes, all comes under this. All lower invertebrates are the protostomes. And deuterostomes are enterocoelomates, Echinodermata and Chordata. Enterocoelomates. In this, the endodermal cells or mesodermal cell pouches are pinched off from the endoderm tissue, and that pouches are fused to form as a coelom. Now look at this photograph of these schizocoelomates. So this is a development of this. This is a archentron, that is the embryonic gut. The opening of that embryonic gut is called as blastophore. So the development of blastophore, if it is developed as a mouth, protostomes. If it is developed as an anus, deuterostomes. So now in this archentron, first in glastulation, during glastulation, differentiation is takes place, embryonic layer differentiation. First endoderm is formed, later mesoderm, and finally ectoderm is formed. So now After formation of this endoderm, from this endoderm, a solid mass of mesoderm cells are split to form as a coelom, then it is called as the schizocoelom. Instead of that, a small pouches of endodermal cell, mesoderms from the endoderm. From this endoderm, small pouches like this it is formed, and all these pouches are grouped to form as a coelom during enterocoelom condition. So now let's see the options given in this 16th question. So which of the following is true about deuterostomes? Present of schizocele. Schizocele is present in Annelida, Arthropoda, mollusca. They are protostomes. In that organisms, mouth develops first from the blastophore and anus develops nest later, second. So that's why it is not a schizocele is not comes under deuterostomes. Next, non-formation of anus from the blastophore. So in protostomes, mouth is formed from the blastophore. Non-formation means anus is not formed. Deuterostomes, anus is formed from the blastophore. So that's why it is also not true regarding deuterostomes. Next, coelom lined by mesoderm on both sides, that is in schizocele. Just now we saw the diagram. Mesoderm cells are present like this on either side. So now absence of false coelom. Absence of. So false, that means pseudocoelom is absent. It is correct because all the deuterostomes are coelomates, two coelomates. False coelom is absent. False coelom is present in the nematihelminthes. Pseudocoelomates are the nematihelminthes. So as per this explanation, the correct answer is option 4 for this 16th question. Question number 17. Division of human egg is options 1. Equal holoblastic, 2. Unequal holoblastic, 3. Superficial meroblastic, 4. Discoidal meroblastic. So the division types of eggs based on the division we are already discussed in the previous part, question number 7. So there are two types of divisions, that is holoblastic and meroblastic divisions. And in holoblastic, the division is complete, and after completion of the division, it will give two equal halves. Then it is called as equal holoblastic, or unequal halves. Then it is called as the unequal holoblastic. So superficial meroblastic as well as discoidal meroblastic. So meroblastic division, it is incomplete division. So that incomplete division, the yolk it form as a discoidal disc, or maybe it form as a superficial. So based on that, there are two, superficial meroblastic as well as discoidal meroblastic. Now here the question is, division of human egg comes under which type of this division? So it comes under equal holoblastic. So human egg divides by equal holoblastic. So hence the answer is option 1 is the answer. Question number 18. The path of sperm transport is given below. Find out the missteps in blank boxes. So seminiferous tubules, from that the sperm transport into reta testis, and after that it is given blank A. From that A, the sperms are transported to epididymis. From epididymis, the sperms are transported to, that is blank B, and finally the sperms are released out through urethra. This is the path given. In that A and B we need to find out. So from seminiferous tubules, the sperms are produced in the seminiferous tubules. From the seminiferous tubules, the sperms are released. That means comes into the reta testis, and this reta testis opens. That means opens into the vas efferentia. That is, A is vas efferentia. From vas efferentia, the first or a primary storehouse of sperms, that is epididymis, vas efferentia, opens into epididymis, and this epididymis opens into the urethra through vas deferens, and this vas deferens is considered as a secondary storehouse of sperms. So A is vas efferentia and B, blank B, is vas deferens. Then the answer is option 1. B is vas efferentia and sorry, A is vas efferentia and B is vas deferens. Match the following. So in that column 1 and column 2 we need to match it, and here it is clearly mentioned with a colors. So the similar colors indicates that a match of that particular word. So A, testis, and this testis is the primary sex organ, that is 4 in the column 2. Epididymis. So epididymis is the accessory duct in male reproductive system. C, penis. It is external genitalia in male reproductive system. Seminal vesicles. Seminal vesicles are the accessory gland in male reproductive system. So what are the words are given in the column 1 are all belongs to male reproductive system. So testis is a primary sex organ, epididymis is accessory duct, penis is external genitalia, and seminal vesicle is the accessory gland. So then the answer for this question is option 2 is the correct answer in your book. Question number 20. Transformation of the spermatids into sperms is called options 1. Spermatogenesis, 2. Spermiogenesis, 3. Spermiation, 4. None of the above. Now let's know the definitions of these terms. Spermatogenesis. Formation of sperms is called spermatogenesis. Spermiogenesis, transformation of the spermatids into sperms, is called spermiogenesis. Spermiation, release of sperms from seminiferous tubules, is called spermiation. So now the question is, transformation of spermatids into sperms is called spermiogenesis. The answer is option 2. Which part of the fallopian tube contains fimbriae? Options 1. Ampulla, 2. Infundibulum, 3. Uterus, 4. Isthmus. So let's know about what is fimbriae. Fimbriae or finger-like projections on the margins of infundibulum. So now the question is, which part of fallopian tube contains fimbriae? So fimbriae present on the margins of infundibulum. Here infundibulum, ampulla, isthmus. These three parts are the belongs to fallopian tube or oviduct. The uterus is the another accessory duct. So the same question it may ask, find out the odd one out with respect to the fallopian tube. So that means ampulla, infundibulum, isthmus. Both all these three are belongs to fallopian tube, but uterus is the separate muscular chamber in the female reproductive system, and this fallopian tube opens into that uterus, but uterus is not a part of fallopian tube. That's why uterus is the odd one among these four options. This is also a possible question on this. So now fimbriae or finger like projections present on the margins of infundibulum. So infundibulum is a part of fallopian tube. It contains these fimbriae which are helpful for collection of ovum. Question number 22. Sertoli cells secrete a hormone. Options 1. Gonadotrophin, 2. Testosterone, 3. Relaxin, 4. Inhibin. So let's know about these hormones. From which cells these hormones are secreted? So first, gonadotrophin. The gonadotrophin hormones are FSH, follicle stimulating hormone, and luteinizing hormone. These two hormones are secreted by anterior pituitary gland. Testosterone, it is an androgen secreted by Leydig cells or interstitial cells present in testis. That means the interstitial cells are present in the interstitial cells of the seminiferous tubules, the space present between the seminiferous tubules in testicular lobule. Relaxin, it is secreted by ovary as per NCERT textbook. Inhibin, it is secreted by Sertoli cells which are present in seminiferous tubules. So now, as per question, Sertoli cells secrete a hormone. Then the answer is option 4. Inhibin is secreted by Sertoli cells. Question number 23. Early embryonic stage that follows blastula is options 1. Morula, 2. Amphiblastula, 3. Radula, 4. Gastrula. So let's know about these terms. Morula, early embryonic stage. Amphiblastula, a free swimming larva of certain sponges. Radula, an anatomical structure used by molluscs for feeding. Gastrula, the stage following the blastula, or it develops from the hollow single layered ball of cells called blastula. So here the question is early embryonic stage that follows blastula. That means from which stage the blastula will develops. That is, early stage of embryonic development is morula. From that morula, blastula is follows. From blastula, gastrula, is follows. So in these options, amphiblastula and radula is completely different from this question. Amphiblastula is a larva of sponges, and radula, it is anatomical structure in molluscans used for feeding, and it is also considered as tongue of the molluscus. So the answer for this question is morula is the early embryonic stage before blastula. Question number 24. Free Martin is an example of options. 1. Hormonal control of sex. 2. Sex reversal. 3. Transformer gene. 4. Nutritional control of sex. So let's know about what is this free Martin. Free Martin is a kind of sexual abnormality. Free Martin is an example of early influence of hormone on sex determination. Lilly and others found that when twins of opposite sex, that is one male and other female in the twins, are formed, the male is normal but female is sterile with many male characteristics. Such a sterile female is known as free Martin. So why that female fetus in the twins become sterile? Because of influence of male sex hormone on this female fetus in the twins. Such sterile female is known as free Martin. Then the answer is free Martin is an example of hormonal control of sex. Question number 25. Human placenta is options. 1. Hemochorial. 2. Syndesmochorial. 3. Yolk sac. 4. Hemoendothelial. Let's know about these terms. Hemochorial placenta. It is present in human. Syndesmochorial placenta. It is present in cattle. Yolk sac is a extra embryonic membrane which covers along with chorion, amnion, allantois and yolk sac. All these four are the extra embryonic membrane. So yolk sac is the one of the extra embryonic membrane. Hemoendothelial placenta present in the rabbit. So among these three types of placenta, here only three types of placenta are given: hemochorial, syndesmochorial and hemoendothelial placenta. Among these three, human placenta is a hemochorial placenta. So answer is option 1. And this question may also asked like this: find the odd one with respect to types of placenta. So hemochorial, syndesmochorial, hemoendothelial, all these three are the placenta. Yolk sac is a extra embryonic membrane. So odd one is yolk sac. And this question it may also ask like this: so which of the following is an extra embryonic membrane? So that is yolk sac, and remaining 3 are the types of placenta. Question number 26. Eggs of placental mammals are options: homolecital, 2 alecital, 3 microlecital, 4 mesolecital. So let's know about these terms. Homolecital. It is also called isolecital. In these eggs, yolk is uniformly distributed. This homolecital type of eggs present in metatherians and in some echinoderms. Alecital. So in this type of eggs, yolk is absent or negligible. Example: placental mammals like human, monkeys, apes, etc. So as per question, we will get the answer. That means eggs of placental mammals are alecital. That means the eggs do not consists yolk, or it may consists very negligible amount of yolk is present. And let's know about remaining two terms. Microlecital. The microlecital eggs are also called oligolecital, and these eggs consists very small amount of yolk. And examples: marsupials and some of echinoderms. Mesolecital eggs. These eggs consists moderate amount of yolk is present. So moderate here, either it not contain more yolk, or maybe it does not contain very less. So moderate, not very much amount or not in very less amount. A moderate, it not be more or it not be less. The moderate amount of yolk is present. Example: cyclostomes, amphibians. Question number 27. In telolecital egg, the yolk is present. Options: 1 all over the egg, 2 on one side, 3 both the sides, 4 center. So let's know what is the telolecital egg. Telolecital eggs. In these eggs, yolk is concentrated at one end of the egg. Example: cyclostomes, fishes, amphibians, reptiles, birds, and prototherians, that is platypus. Prototherians are belongs to mammals, but they are egg laying mammals. That is platypus. Dactylus platypus comes under the prototherians. So in telolecital eggs, the yolk is concentrated on one end. That is the answer is option 2, on one side. Question number 28. Spermiogenesis is the process of transformation of. So for this question, they are given the diagrammatic representation of spermatogenesis. In this spermatogenesis, the stages are mentioned with a specific letters A, B, C, D, E, or the stages in the process of spermatogenesis. In that stages, which stage represent that spermiogenesis, that is transformation of spermatids to spermatozoa, is called spermiogenesis. Now options: 1 A to B, 2 B to C, 3 C to D, 4 E to A. So first we need to know what are the letters represent. E represents spermatogonia, and this spermatogonia develop as, that is a primary spermatocytes, that is A. The primary spermatocytes undergo first meiotic division to form secondary spermatocytes, that is B. Secondary spermatocytes undergo second meiotic division to form spermatids. These spermatids are embedded, heads of the spermatids embedded into the Sertoli cells and draw the nutrients. And later, the spermatids are transformed into sperms, that is D. So as per question, spermiogenesis represents C2D is the process of spermiogenesis. Question number 29. Secondary oocyte after second meiotic division produce. Secondary oocyte after second meiotic division produce. The second meiotic division in secondary oocyte is initiated after fertilization. So that means it is takes place in the fallopian tube, the female reproductive tract. So when this secondary oocyte undergo second meiotic division, it produces one haploid oocyte and one polar body. So the answer is option 3. Question number 30. Vasectomy is a method of sterilization in which what will do? Options. 1. Small part of vas efferentia is removed or tied up. 2. Small part of the vas deferens is removed or tied up through a small incision on the scrotum. 3. Small part of the fallopian tube is removed or tied up. 4. Uterus is removed surgically. So now let's know about vasectomy. So vasectomy is a sterilization method or a terminal birth control method in male. It is a surgical method. So during vasectomy, small part of vas deferens is removed or tied up through a small incision on the scrotum. So the correct answer is option 2. Now what about the third and fourth options? Small part of removal of small part of fallopian tube is called tubectomy. It is a sterilization method in females. And surgical removal of uterus, it is called as surgical removal of uterus is called as hysterectomy. So surgical removal of uterus is called as hysterectomy. So 3 and 4 options belongs to female. And vasa efferentia, it is present inside the testis. It is not removed for this sterilization method. So during sterilization method, vas deferens is removed or tied up. And during tubectomy, that is in female, the small part of fallopian tube is removed. So with all these 4 options, the question may also change like this. Instead of vasectomy, they may use a tubectomy is a method of sterilization in which small part of fallopian tube is removed. Okay. So with these 4 options, the question may come in two forms. One, as per given here, vasectomy is a method of sterilization in which vas deferens is removed. And with the same option, the question, another question is tubectomy is a method of sterilization in which fallopian tube is removed in females. And it may also ask that hysterectomy is a, then option 4 is a removal of surgical removal of uterus. So that's why 2, 3, 4 options, each option having one frame of question. So now second option already given here, and third option one more question, that is tubectomy, and fourth question hysterectomy is a surgical removal of uterus. So along with this question, you may also frame two more questions based on third and fourth options. Question number 31. Which of the following functions is not performed by placenta? Options. 1. Facilitation of supply of oxygen and nutrients to the embryo. 2. Removal of carbon dioxide and waste materials produced by the embryo. 3. Production of HCG, HPL, estrogens and progesterones. 4. Implantation of embryo. So the placenta is formed around 12th week of the pregnancy. So means the placenta is formed after implantation of the embryo. So hence the placenta does not functions in the implantation of the embryo. It not involved in the implantation of embryo. And remaining 3, 1, 2, 3 options are the correct about placental functions. So means it is helpful for supplying the oxygen and nutrients. It is a function of placenta. Removal of waste material, it is also a function of placenta. And placenta acts as a temporary endocrine gland. It produces hormones HCG, that is human chorionic gonadotropin, and HPL, human placental lactogen, estrogens and progesterones are produced by the placenta. So the correct option for this question is 4. Question number 32. Functions of allantois. 1. Respiration. 2. Excretion. 3. Nutrition and excretion. 4. Protection from shock. Let's know about allantois. Allantois is an extra embryonic membrane. It serves as a temporary respiratory organ as well as stores the nutrient. Its cavity stores fetal excretions. So here it acts as a temporary respiratory organ and for providing nutrients. And also it stores the fetal excretion waste. Hence, the correct answer is option 3. The function of allantois is nutrition and excretion and also respiration. But as per nearest answer, nutrition and excretion is the correct answer. Question number 33. The most primitive type of mammalian placenta is options. 1. Syndesmochorial. 2. Endotheliocorial. 3. Hemochorial. 4. Epitheliochorial. Among these 4 types of placenta, which placenta is most primitive? So let's know about the type of placenta. Syndesmocordial. In this type of placenta is formed by the five number of barriers. In that five number of barriers, two barriers from the maternal side and three barriers from the fetal side. In these barriers, particularly in maternal side, epithelial lining of uterus is eroded. So three tissues from the maternal, three tissues from the paternal are involved in the formation of placenta. If one of the tissue, that is epithelial lining of the uterus, is eroded, then only two are involved in the formation of a placenta from the maternal side. So this type, syndesmocordial type of placenta present in the cattle. Next one, endotheliocorial placenta. In this type, the number of barriers is 4. So in that 4 barriers, 3 barriers from the fetal side, only one is from the maternal side. Already epithelial tissue of uterus is eroded, as well as connective tissue is also eroded. So out of 3, 2 tissues are eroded. Only one is involved in the formation of placenta. This type of placenta is present in dogs and cats. Hemochorial placenta. This already we know very well. Number of barriers is 3. That means all 3 tissues are belongs to the fetal side only. And from maternal side, the endothelial lining present in the blood vessel is also eroded, and that chorial is directly bathed into the blood of the maternal. That's why hemochorial. He means blood. So the chorial portion of the fetal side is directly dipped or bathed into the blood of maternal. Hemochorial placenta. All 3 barriers from the maternal side is eroded. That is epithelial lining of uterus, connective tissue of maternal tissue, connective tissue, as well as endothelial lining is also eroded, and then directly dip or bath into the heme of maternal blood. This type we can found in the primates, that is man, monkey, apes, etc. Epitheliochorial placenta. The number of barriers in this is 6. That means all 3 maternal tissue and all 3 fetal tissue are involved in the formation. There is no any erosion of the tissue in this. So this epitheliochorial placenta is simplest and most primitive type of placenta. It is present in horse and pig. So as per question, the most primitive placenta is epitheliochorial placenta. Option 4 is the correct answer. Question number 34. In apomictic or parthenogenetic development, the individuals are. So let's know what is this parthenogenetic or apomictic. The individuals develop without fertilization. So apomictic seeds we will study in the sexual reproduction in plants. Apomictic seeds. The seeds formed without fertilization. Parthenogenesis or parthenocarpic. So the individuals are developed without fertilization are called as parthenogenesis. Apomictic, the apomixis we are studied in the sexual reproduction in angiosperms or flowering plants. In that apomixis is means the formation of seeds without fertilization. Such seeds are called as the apomictic seeds. So now here apomictic individual or maybe parthenogenetic individual is developed without fertilization. That means there is no exchanging of genetic material. Hence, the individuals are morphologically and genetically similar. So the answer is option 1. Question number 35. Recognize the figure and find the correct matching. So in this diagram, it is a mammary gland. In that some parts are labeled with a particular letters A, B, C, D, E. In that we need to find what is that A represent and B represent. So A is mammary lobe option. That means here the A is mammary lobe, B is mammary alveolus, and the part C is mammary duct, and part D is ampulla, and part E is latissiferous duct. So based on that, which of the following option is correct? So the option 4 is correct, what we said in the diagram. A is mammary lobe, B is mammary alveolus, C is mammary duct, D is mammary ampulla, E is lactiferous duct. So option 4 is correct matching with respect to that figure. Thank you, students. We will discuss some more competitive bits in the next part from these exercises.